What's up, everyone? We're back with another Are You Live. This is the heal team I've been using. Pretty successful thus far. It's been doing alright, but now we're just getting these random ass teams, so I probably should have laddered up a little bit, but oh well, we'll see how we do. I'm just gonna leave with Ninetales. Maybe this is a very old RU team of his. He's just gonna go in a Carbink. I do think my play is to... I have no reason not to go into Sand Slash right here, because I can just Iron Head this thing. As he sets up a light screen, that's good. That breaks his potential Sturdy, and now I can just Iron Head and should be sufficient to take his Carbink out. So he only gets one screen. Unfortunately, I do not have defog, so I can't get rid of those. But he's just gonna go out into his Relicanth. I'm just gonna go into Chestnut, as that should be a hard check to this. But he goes for Head Smash. That's relatively unfortunate, but he has nothing to get rid of hazards either, so I'm just gonna set up a layer of spikes here. It goes into Matang, that's fine. I'm just going to seat this thing. Hopefully it doesn't have Psychic. I mean, this team looks very odd. Okay, that's our first one. So just gonna continue. That doesn't count as my first game though, because that lasted under a minute. And this is a team that seems familiar. I mean, I've seen Silvally, I've seen Guzzlord and the Melodic, I've seen this and then a Crobat to top things off. I'm gonna leave a Ninetales because I don't really see a reason not to, except for this thing. Then pull a switch in a Slowking because he'll likely just go for the fire move. And that was a crit. And this is a Life Orb set, so that's not all that great. But now, expecting the Shadow Ball, I'm just going to pull a switch into Heliolisk, and then I can Volt Switch. In comes my Melodic though. I'm likely expecting a switch into Guzzlord, so I'm just going to Volt Switch right here, as I'm just going to put on a timer. That does well over half. Weirdly enough, this guy stayed in. Haven't fired off. No, of course not, because we have this thing. Okay, good. For some reason I thought I had a layer of spikes up, but that was last game, but I forgot because that was such a short game. I'm just going to fire off Leech Seed right here as he goes for Toxic. That's fine. Now I can just pull a switch back into my Heliolisk because Heliolisk deals reasonably well with that thing, and also reasonably well with Crobat. More than likely gonna go on the Lurantis, which, fun fact, in-game was a pain. Like, that thing was so hard to deal with for me, but he's gonna go into Guzzlord. That's good, because I can just go into my Ninetales, and then fire off a Moonblast. Could potentially fire off a Blizzard, but no, I'm just gonna fire off a Moonblast. Could also set up an Aurora Veil, predicting the Chandelure to come in, but hopefully, no. I'm gonna go back to Slowking, because once again, I'm expecting Fire Move. He goes for the Shadow Ball. That's very unfortunate. I guess Donphan is the middle ground play here. Well, Donphan doesn't like taking those, and I'm not gonna go into Heliolisk again. I'm just gonna go into Donphan, because that does feel like an optimal play. There we go. So, unfortunately, we're not going to get a Rocks, but Donphan didn't do that much anyway this game. I mean, could potentially wall Volley, and Guzzlord takes on Guzzlord reasonably well. But there we go. Now I can pull a switch back into my Heliolisk and just click Volt Switch again, because I can freely Volt Switch on this guy all game long, because, well, he doesn't like dealing with this thing. And now, fortunately, this thing can no longer switch into my Ninetales. Which makes Ninetales a very big threat to his team. His team does not deal well with Ninetales. So I'm just gonna fire off a Moonblast right here. Could set up an Aurora Veil, as I said before, which probably was a better play, because then I would not have lost the Chandelure right there. But he's gonna go into his Melodic, and as I can just fire off a Freeze Dry. Unfortunately, it doesn't do all that much, but you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go back into Heliolisk, fire off another Volt Switch, and just go from there. This Melodic is really bulky, really annoying to deal with. Just gonna Volt Switch. He takes that like a champion. That is 55%. It's not that much, but Could go back into Ninetales, set up an Aurora Veil. He's more than likely going to Toxic me. No, he just recovers. That's good. I'm just going to set up my Aurora Veil as he goes for another Toxic, and now I can finally pull, I can pull a switch back into my Heliolisk. He might double Toxic, that would be a good play on his behalf, but I don't think that would be necessary. I don't expect him to do that. No, he just goes for an Ice Beam. That doesn't do as much. Now I'm just gonna fire out a T-Bolt because this thing is getting really annoying, and I want this thing to be a low amount of health as he pulls a switch into Guzzlord. Slowly but surely, this thing is getting weakened. Now I can just pull a switch into my Ninetales again and just start spamming Freeze Dry as he goes for Rest, of course. Looks like this team is a lot more fat than I anticipated it to be, but I'm just going to go for Freeze Dry, predicting them while loading to come in. I can see a way of winning, but that would involve my Sandslash setting up an SD. Lurantis comes in, that does not like taking one of those. And now I'm just gonna click Freeze Dry again, as that should be enough to kill Lurantis. That's good. Toxic damage starts to rack up though, so Volley is gonna come in. As I just pull a switch out in a Chestnut, somewhat expecting this thing to be physical since he has so many special things already. He goes for Z Parting Shot. That means that he can heal up something back to full, which is gonna be a Chandelure. Slightly unfortunate. I really want to get a Valera Spikes. Hopefully he'll miss the Fire Blast. Maybe he goes for Shadow Ball, predicting my Slowking once again. No, he just goes for, say, Fire Blast and just takes me out. The thing I could do is just, well, the thing I'm going to do is just go into Sandslash and try and kill this thing with an Earthquake. It's kind of the only thing I've got. As soon as I get up an SD with this thing, I sweep. But thus far, has not been all that successful. Well, could set up an SD on this thing. Hopefully this Crobat does not have the Heat Wave, because that would be very unfortunate. As long as this thing does not burn me on a first turn, we should be able to snag a kill here. As this Earthquake should do a significant amount, which it does. Hopefully it doesn't get a burn. Thank you. And now we can just Iron Head. As soon as this thing is out of the way, then it should be a lot better. But he's predicting another one of those, but I'm having none of it. I'm gonna go into Ninetales, set up my Snow again, set up my Hail again as he takes it out. I don't want this thing healing up, so I'm just gonna go on a Heliolisk right here as a likely go into Silvally. I think getting damage on this should be good. Now I'm just gonna full switch in case he goes into Guzzlord. Okay, hopefully it came through, and that actually came through, and now it's Sandslash time to come through. Hopefully Icicle Crash will do a lot, maybe even kill it, but obviously that's not the case. Fortunately, we do flinch. That's just great for us, and now I can just Earthquake, I think. Yeah, Earthquake looks like a good middle ground play. I mean, it would have caught the Chandelure, would have killed this guy, would have done good damage to Silvally. As soon as this thing is out of the way, or good damage off on this thing, I do think that Heliolisk should be able to sweep. I'm getting flinches left and right now, not gonna lie, but I don't necessarily feel sorry because he was trying to stall me out of everything I had. So that's good. Heliolisk comes in, cleans up. I think cleans up. I mean, we've seen the Life Orb on this thing. I'm just gonna calc this. because I'm kind of scared that won't take it out. So, we're just gonna go with Heliolisk, special attacker. No, it's not life or your choice specs. Choice specs. Choice specs. And then we're just gonna go with Chandelure. Scarf? T-Bolt is 80 to 95. Would Surf take out? So we're just gonna go with Surf then. Would Surf be enough to take down the Milotic? Surf does 13.4, but I mean, how much did Full Switch do? Not that amount of damage, so that's definitely specially defensive. So T-Bolt to Chandelure did 80 to 95. I'm just gonna go for it. Fortunately, does take it out, so he did not have any HP investment, and now Milotic should. Yeah, well, it's definitely going to die to this next T-Bolt, so that's gonna be a win in our favor. So this guy's gonna forfeit. That was a tough game. That was really hard wall court to break through. Fortunately, Heliolisk in the end, well, mostly Sandslash broke through a couple of things, and then everything started to get chipped. Next time, what I'll do when I face a team as such, I'll try to get as many hazards as I can. I mean, Chestnut wasn't doing anything the entire game, so I'll just try and get as many hazards as I can, and then try and go from there, because that would have really put a lot of pressure. Because every single time he went into his bat, then that would have allowed free switching Sandslash, and Sandslash, as we've seen, enormously pressured his team. So here we go. So this is the next game. He's using a Flygon. That's scary. That sounds very weird to say, I know. He has a Shuckle. That may be annoying, but Donphan can spin on a couple of things. Being Electros, being Bramble, being Registeel, being Flygon potentially. Preferably not, since this is scary Flygon now, because it has access. They gave it access to Dragon Dance. But you already knew that. What do I lead with though? I'm just gonna lead with Sandslash, predicting him to lead, but not that. Definitely not that. But he'll just Flamethrower on my Donphan. That doesn't do anything. And I'm just gonna get up my rocks as a likely switch into. Oh boy. That's odd. Good to know though. I somewhat expect a Drain Punch. Not necessarily this, but yeah. I'm just gonna fire off a Stone Edge right here, as Electros does not like taking that at all. He'll likely just switch into his Blastoise right here. That is a safe switch, but no, he decides to sack it. You know what? I'm fine with that. Electros is semi-threatening. I mean, it somewhat stops Heliolisk in his roots. I'm just gonna stay in with this guy. I definitely don't want to lose. Whoa, boy. The only thing I can really do is just go into Sandslash, set up a couple of Swords Dances, and then try to go from there. So he's already ahead of me, but fortunately Swords Dance gives me +2. And then he'll likely infestate me, but that shouldn't do all that much. I mean, it's gonna do 12 every single turn, but I should be able to just SD again. And from this point on out, I'll just start Iron Heading, because this thing is getting out of hand, one might say. So just gonna go for the Iron Head. That should do a very, very good amount of damage, and that's exactly what happens. And here, an Earthquake should also be enough to take it out, where even if he switches into Blastoise, that's going to take very, very good damage from this. So Sandslash coming through once again. Over 900 attack, almost 1,000 attack, so that's good. He goes into Registeel when he has seen my coverage already, so I'm not sure if I agree with that. he probably just should have gone into his Flygon and then killed me, but whatever. You're gonna go into Gramble right now. No, this guy has no clue what he's doing. This guy has no clue what he's doing. I mean, we could have already... Well, we somewhat could tell that from the way he played his Electros. But he's gonna go into Flygon right now, and this was the thing he should have brought in straight away, but he didn't. I still have a Chestnut on the back, I'm not too fussed. 328, he showed Life Orb. That's good enough for me to know that Ninetales will outspeed and can just fire off a Freeze Dry. That should be enough to take out Flygon. I mean, it's Squat super effective, it's Stab. It doesn't get a Hail Boost. That's, maybe one would say rather silly. But I can just go into my Heliolisk here really, but Moonblast actually does good damage. To where it is Blastoise should just straight up die to, well, one more. And then that's going to be the end of the game. I have no idea why I didn't go Freeze Dry, by the way, because that probably would have 2KO'd them, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Blastoise does not get very good recovery, and even if he was a Rest variant, then I would have straight pulled his Switch into Helios, because he'll likely be Rest, Sleep Talk, Toxic, and then Scald. Something along those lines, but yeah, Blastoise is actually the best spinner in his tier, so it's not weird that he brought it, but yeah, that's going to be a 5-0 in our favor. So, I'm not too happy with this life, but I mean, we got some wins, we got higher up the ladder, so hopefully next recording will be a bit better, or at least what I mean by that is some better opponents, and I will see you guys tomorrow.